රවි සෙනවිරත්න මැතිතුමනි, මහජන ආරක්ෂක අමාත්‍යාංශයේ ලේකම්තුමා සිටින මේ අවස්ථාවේ ඇත්ත වශයෙන්ම අපි පොලිස් දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවක් ලෙසත් දේශපාලන අධිකාරියක් ලෙසත් පොලිස් දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවේ සිටින මහජන පොලිස් දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවේ සිටින නිලධාරීන් සහ දේශපාලන වල අධිකාරිය වන අපට අගනා පාඩමක් මේ නීතිය ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්නේ කොහොමද කියන කාරණයට අදාළව මම හිතන්නේ අගනා නඩු තීන්දුවක් පහුගිය සතියේ ලබා දුන්නා. ඒ නඩු තීන්දුවට අදාළව වැදගත් සාධනීය ප්‍රින්සිපල්ස් ප්‍රමාණයක් ප්‍රතිපත්තිමය කාරණා ප්‍රමාණයක් මේ නඩු තීන්දුවේ අන්තර්ගතයේ තියෙනවා. Your Excellency the ambassador the rule of law of our country, how to implement by the police officers and others. There are so many rulers introduced in this case. The rule of is a fundamental principle that ensures the state is governed by laws rather than by the arbitrary decision of rulers and government officials. Its origins can be traced back to ancient Rome and were later developed by medieval European thinkers such as Hobbes, Locke and Rousseau to the local contract theory. Indian philosophers such as Chanakya, the chief advisor to Mayan Emperor Chandragupta, emphasized the importance of the rule of law by advocating to a just and state could be maintained if the king himself was subject to legal principles. In his treatise, Chanakya outlined a framework for a governance in which no individual was above law. That is the theory. No individuals was above law. That is the main problem we are facing today, especially the officers and the politicians. So, believing that laws should be applied impartially, that the king's power should be exercised within the boundaries of dharma and establish legal norms. That is the theory. According to British jurist A.V. Dicey, the rule of law upholds the absolute supremacy of regular law, eliminating arbitrary power and wide discretionary authority by the government, where he states as follows. මේ මගේ වචන නෙවෙයි. අදාළ නඩු තීන්දුවේදී විනිශ්චයකාරතුමා විසින් ඔහුගේම අදහස් ලෙස දක්වන ලද කොටස්. ඒ විතරක් නෙවෙයි ඔහු තවදුරටත් සඳහන් කරනවා. The rule of law of means the absolute supremacy of predominance of regular law as opposed to influence of arbitrary power and exclude the existence of arbitrariness of prerogative of over of wide discretionary authority on the part of the government. A historic affirmation of this principle can be seen in the case of prohibitions of Roe 1607, where Lord Edward Coke ruled that even the monarch was subject to the law and that the legal dispute should be resolved by independent courts, while highlighting the central tenet of the rule of law. No one, including those in power, is above the law. That is the principle. With this background, by analyzing the case at hand, we see the petitioner is not an ordinary citizen. He holds the highest rank within the police force, serving as the Inspector General of Police. අපි IGP ද නැද්ද කියන කාරණාව සලකන්නේ නැහැ. නීතිය කියන්නේ කාටත් සමාන එකක්. ඒ ආණ්ඩුක්‍රම ව්‍යවස්ථාවේ 12කට අඩංගු එකක්. ඒක නිසා අපි ඊට අදාළ නීතියක් ක්‍රියාත්මක කිරීමට අවශ්‍යයි කියන කාරණය හොඳට මේ නඩු තීන්දුවේ කියලා තියෙනවා. A positions of that upon him the duty of maintain law and order within the country during this tenure as a police officer. The petitioner may have produced numerous suspects and or wrongdoers before courts, adhering to court orders unlike an ordinary citizen. he possesses a highlighted awareness of the rule of law in this country. It is deeply concerning, regrettable that the head of the police department, who possesses extensive knowledge of the law and holds a position of great responsibility, is involved in a grievous offence and is actively evading arrest. His failure to cooperate with the court order and his attempts to remain his hiding not only undermine the principles of justice but also tarnish the reputations of police department, tarnish of the police department, even IGP. We are acting according to the law. The petitioner who is entrusted with the imposing of law and tasked with setting an example for society cannot be permitted act as the true he is above the law. Honorable Ambassador, it is patient to note that the police department and the judiciary must operate with the impartially free and any influence based on race, caste, religion, language, position, political belief or any ulterior motives. That is our main target. That is our main target. If these institutions fail to uphold fairness and equality in these actions, it is inevitably erode public confidence in the justice system and the administration of justice as a whole. Thus, maintaining integrity and impartiality is essential to preserving trust in these fundamental pillars of society. In my view, if these two institutions function without fear and favor and they strictly adhere to the rule of law, land, it would significantly reduce crime as much as 90%, and thereby uphold the democratic process. I further observe that if these two institutions fail to function effectively, the general public will inevitably lose confidence. It may happen, lost confidence in them. As a result, people may resort to resolving dispute on their own, leading to a race of lawlessness, thuggery, and the breakdown of law and order. This deterioration will give way to vigilantism, where the individuals will take justice into their own lands, ultimately undermining the way foundation of a lawful and democratic society. අන්න ඒක තමයි ඒ විනිශ්චය කරුවන් විසින් ගරු අභියාචනාධිකරණයේ එළි දක්වන්නට යදුණු ප්‍රින්සිපල් එක මම හිතන්නේ මේක ගොඩක් අපේ පොලිස් දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවටත් දේශපාලඥයන් වන අපටත් ඊටාම අගය කළා සලකන්න ඕන ජජ්මන්ට් එකක් නඩු තීන්දුවක් මෙය අපේ රටේ පොලිස්පතිවරයා සම්බන්ධයෙන් ලියන ලද නඩු තීන්දුවක් බවත් මතක තියාගන්න ඕන. ඉතින් ඒක නිසා that I am going to conclude the speech. This donation from Japan to Sri Lanka and the UNFPA, police will empower us to take further necessary actions to sustain and build upon these achievements. It is a testament to the strong partnership between our two nations and Japan's unwavering commitment to supporting democratic values and rule of law worldwide. Once again, I thank you on behalf of our government and our people for your generosity and solidarity. Together, we are laying the foundation for a just and ordinary society that serves as a model for the generations to come. Thank you.
You're watching the Lifetraveler channel.